Okay. Hello, welcome to the second episode of our podcast. As usual, I'm your host, and today we're gonna talk about the rest of the things that it comes in my mind. We have been talked about Zora Mandani. We're gonna put that aside, whatever happens, the people who encouraged to vote for him, the people that he didn't. You mostly talk about lots of people, talk about Trump, Netanyahu, talk about Palestine, what politicians do. And obviously, I don't trust any politician. It could be him or the people that I mentioned. So, fortunately or unfortunately, that it's again about a little bit politics, but not that much. Today, we're going to talk about BBC, that this scandal they brought up and everything. I didn't bother myself with them about Donald Trump. I saw a video. Well, Trump is a big guy. He can handle himself, obviously. But I saw a clip that you will see what he said, what they made of Trump's speech, which gonna be here, I think. Let me bring it up.
We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and I'll be there with you. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. We're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
And then there was another clip that they brought to talk about Jeremy Clarkson, which you will see. I don't have the video, but I will. If I do, I will bring it up and you can see it. Donald Trump. And if I find it would be great. That's the part that he said he will sue BBC. They cut his speech something.
Are you going ahead and suing the BBC?
Well, I guess I have to. Why not? Because they defrauded the public, and they've admitted it, and they're top echelon.
Director General and the CEO
This
both
is
resigned.
within one of our great allies. They actually changed my January 6th speech, which was a beautiful speech, which was a very calming speech, and they made it sound radical. And they actually changed it. What they did was rather incredible. They're showing me the results later on, the results of what they did, how they butchered it up. But it was very dishonest, and the head man quit, and a lot of the other people.
But tonight you are saying to our viewers that you will go forward and file a defamation lawsuit against the BBC.
Well, I think I have an obligation to do it.
It's not the first time the BBC do such a thing as stuff in order to get what they want, which it makes sense somehow. It's for Britain, obviously, British broadcast. But we all know the Britain and the things they did, the colonization, over everything. Will never be fun with BBC. And what bothers me was the reporter was talking, arguing with Jeremy Clarkson.
Why are you here, Mr. Clarkson?
Well, because I'm here to support farmers.
Right. Are you angry?
It's difficult to be angry on somebody else's behalf. That's like being... Yes, no, I'm not angry on someone else's behalf.
Right. So it's not about you. It's not about your farm and the fact that you bought a farm to avoid inheritance tax.
Classic BBC there. Classic. Oh, yeah.
I really like Jeremy Clarkson, from Top Gear to the Grand Tour. Then it became let the flag shine, I totally forgot that. I usually do. which is alright. I was saying, Jeremy Clarkson. I mentioned Top Gear, the Grand Tour, and now recently with Clarkson Farm, I was on the trip, and I saw something like this coming. The show, the documentary, is about farming. If you didn't see, it's a great show. I put a click on it. It was something incredible that I never saw in my life. I didn't know you could make a content from farming that much entertaining and extraordinary. And he did. It was incredible. Basically, if I want to say what it was, that he had a farm or bought a farm, a land, then he was due farming. He bought a new tractor. He bring a guy named Caleb. He's my favorite. And it was everything going fine until they faced the crisis of taxation and laws and problems that every farmers in the world facing. I want to say, as a role model we can be, year after year he became the most charming British person by magazine something. But after that, the clip that I saw, and you saw already, somehow the reporter was wanted to blame him over what happened, or at least what I took from that picture and video at BBC do. I like Britain, I like London, I like their history, but BBC, of course, as all the network doing for their country, they're doing for their own. But Jeremy Clarkson is something that us people, that car lovers, entertainment, we cinema and everything, documentaries, be following that. He's a good guy for us, and something like that came up that we saw, we didn't like it, honestly, especially the reporter. I hope what he faces, especially and the farmers in UK, gets solved. I have a note here. We mentioned Top Gear and the Grand Tour. I started knowing him, and the James May, Richard Hammond, every one of them with Grand Tour. I saw one season, the very first season they produced of Top Gear. And when you see the last episode, it wasn't just serious. It was just one episode. If I want to spoil it, spoiler alert. They went to the place that they start traveling in Africa. Yeah, it was cool. And all of the Top Gear and Grand Tour was about the cars and how the car can perform in a funny way. And another thing was they cut the speeches of Trump, which he was doing on when was it? I don't know. I think it was for the past, but they cut it the way that the speech was so radical, and I don't know. It something showed it bad. I'm not very Trump fan or against him, neutral and everything. But the real video that we saw was totally different. It was actually say against what they cut it, even though the BBC CEO and director, I guess, they resigned, they sort of fired. But it doesn't end there, does it? It never did, and it won't do it now. So I don't know where it's gonna end up. I'm not worried about Trump. I'm mostly worried about the farmers that are facing a big taxation. That you saw the percentage that they mentioned for it's 96. I'm not expert, but it sounds very alarming, even though for me that I'm not from UK as well. It's a little bit not good. Farming is the first job and the most honorable job of humans in the beginning until today, and everyone can do. It's the obvious truth. But I don't know how they treat farmers like they're on the low level of society, which there isn't any leveling. If you're a politician, you're president, senator, everything, you're working for people, you're below even normal people. Yeah, you do an important job. You've been chosen by people to do that, obviously. But farming is the best job you can do. There is no doubt about it. In the first of human being, of course, they hunted down the animals, then they find the water, they settle in, they start produce food, crops, everything. They build house, communities, small towns, cities, countries. They develop, and it got bigger and bigger. Maybe one day we talk about history too. I love history, but let's focus here. In every country now, we're facing the climate changing, the global warming. Farmers are gonna see the effect that we're gonna face the lack of water, like lots of countries in the world right now are facing this, and it's not good. But treating people, especially in UK, the farmers, people, it's not fair. I guess my grandfather, yeah, one of my grandfather was farmer. It's enjoying. He has land. He still has it, even though he dies. It went to his children. Obviously, they inherited it. But I don't see it the way you will put that much pressure and such a huge amount of taxation on farmers that they develop food for the people, the rest of the people in the country, and everywhere. I mean, not even UK. It's not fair, sort of. And I hope the UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, I guess, he help this situation. He's Arsenal fan. That's everything about football here. I follow Arsenal fan in Premier League. City won lots of games, but let's come out of football. It's another conversation about another episode. But Jeremy Clarkson was something that I like to mention today. He's funny, he's a good guy, and I hope he continues making the Clarkson farm with Amazon or without Amazon as long as he can. And today's video we dedicated to Jeremy Clarkson, the Grand Tours guy, James May, Richard Hammond we mentioned here. We mentioned lots of people. But yeah, Jeremy Clarkson, we love him. And I hope they get what they deserve and little wishes. I don't know what to say more. I had nothing in my mind. The first episode been uploaded. It's the second one. I will continue to build like this. I don't know if you guys like it or not. Hope it finds its own viewers and people wishes to see something stupid, funny, and logical. And if you know someone logical, send this video and like, subscribe, whatever it is. I don't know what's going on. It's your channel as well as not only mine. It was been an incredible time tonight. That was the main part of tonight's schedule. We made it happen. I'm happy. I'm gonna edit it and post it on YouTube. Probably tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, probably. And yeah, See you on the next one, I hope. And wish you the best. Cheers.
Yep, 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 yep.